We're out here with Ziggy again, and this is about the third or fourth day I've been playing around with the clippers, with the trimmer with him. And in the other video you got to see that was the first day. And so I just been practicing playing with him every day with it, and he's getting a bit better and a bit better with it. You know, he's still a little bit bothered with it, but I just wanted to show you where he's at today. So I'm just coming in here with the clipper without it on, just rubbing him with it, making sure he's okay with all of that. And you know, that hasn't been the issue really. It's been more when I go to turn it on. So now I'm just going to kind of come in here and I'm just kind of turning it on and off, getting him used to that vibration, that noise, to the point where I can turn it on. There, and then he kind of softens into it, and then I'm going to turn it off. Let him check it out if he wants. Come back. There, that's. Then just come in, rub the ear. And another thing I found with him is if I take the trimmer without it being on and just kind of almost like I'm going to comb the hairs in the ear, he actually gets to where he likes that. So I might start off with my fingers here, just kind of twirling the hairs and just kind of pulling on him a little bit so he gets used to that. And then I'm just going to take the trimmer and just like I'm using it to kind of comb the ear. That way he gets used to the hairs being pulled on a little bit. And then just kind of get to where there he's okay with that. That's it. Good, and then just kind of let him, so he kind of checked in with me. There was a softening, a relaxation, and then just come back in, play with that again. Finding the thing that he enjoys, what's the thing that he likes. So I'm just kind of staying with him. And again, we're not tying him at all. I'm allowing him to move his feet. Where does he need to go? What does he need to do? Because if you restrict him too much, you know, if I were to go tie him up and do this, he's going to set back, pull, and flail around and hurt himself. So we're here. It's more about just building the trust, building the ability for him to be able to handle that noise, the feel. Yeah. So here the hairs are kind of getting pulled a little bit, so he has to get used to that, because when the trimmer turns on and starts cutting, it gives that little bit of tug. And now I'm just going to turn it on and off, make sure that he can handle that. There. And now come in, just rub with the trimmer, and then just hold the trimmer on there without cutting, getting him okay with that. And then coming in and doing a little cutting, little trimming, and then go back to just rubbing it. And I'm just holding the ear closed here, but I'm not holding hard. If he needs to move around, I'm not pulling on it. I'm just kind of going with him. And he's still not too sure about it. So I'm going to go back to just kind of stroking him. Yeah. boy. And then playing with turning it on and off. There, he's kind of leaning into me, so I stick my elbow into his neck here to say don't press on me, because he wants to lean into me and then kind of leave. And so I'm just asking him to bend back around me. And I'm going to come up. Yeah. Just kind of stroke the ear. There. So that was nice. Now I'm going to come to the other side and do the same thing. And then get to where I can turn the clipper on, have it touches the ear. There you go. Good. Now he's kind of leaning into it a little bit, going, oh, that kind of feels good. And let him have that for a moment. So, get a change. And I'm going to come back to the other side. And rub the clipper into the ear. Just waiting for him to find that good spot. There you go. Good. Let him have that, and then go back to the other side. See, and a lot of it is when the trimmer gets turned on. So if I turn it on and off a lot, then he gets used to it. You know, he can get comfortable either with it off or with it on, but it's that change. There. Again, I'm just going to kind of come in, put the trimmer on the ear, holding it. And that's why I have a hold on the halter here too, so if he starts to move his head around, that I can block so it doesn't smack me in the head. Yeah, good. So that's nice. And come back to the other side. See, and he might need to move his feet around too. So sometimes if they've been standing there a while, I'll just ask them to get out there, move around a little bit, get his mind on something else, give him something to do. Yeah. And bring him back in. Play with it again. And this ear, he's worse with than the other ear. He's more protective of it. Good. That's it. And then let him have it. So find where he gets to the point where he's okay with it. And he's like, oh, I need to go move around a little bit. And that's fine. So giving him a place to go, move, and then after a bit, then I can say, oh, do you want to stand there? You want to hang out? Yeah, good. So moving the body parts, moving the hind end. Ask him to back up. And then coming back in. Touching and rubbing. Turning the shaver on and off. There you go. Now, you kind of have to watch too, because some of what's happening is he's starting to go into, it's not that he is really afraid, it's more he's like, I don't really want that. And so he's getting a little bit rude with it, because he's just starting to say, I don't like it, leave me alone. And so then I might have to get a little bit firmer. So you're always watching, okay, is it a fear issue or is it a disrespect issue? And so it's been mostly a fear issue, but it's now starting to turn into a bit of disrespect, a bit of, I just don't like it, so leave me alone. So here's where I'm gonna ask him to move his feet around a little bit more. Give him something to do until he's more inclined to want to hang out and just stand there. And that's just, it's something to be aware of, because oftentimes it's a fear issue, and it could be on really anything with the horse, is they get real reactive, and then you start desensitizing them, and then it turns into more of, I just don't like it, and so leave me alone. And so then it's in fear, I'm going to be a lot more kind of in and out of their space, taking time with them. When it's more of a disrespect, is I'm going to get a little firmer with them. And so that's a balancing act. Here we're just saying, keep moving your feet, because he's not quite ready yet. So I'm just going to say, let's move your feet around, circling them. Can I disengage? Can I ask him to back up? Ask him to go off the other direction. And disengage his hind end again. And I'm going to take him sideways down the fence. Just kind of playing with the trimmer as we're going here. He wants to kind of push through me, so I'm getting a little bit firmer. Hang on, over here. Ah, there you go. Taking him down through the corner. So as he gets kind of stops in the corner, I walk in, and then I'm going to ask him to get out there. These youngsters, I'm going to give them lots of space out there because they can be frisky and jump up and kick out. And now as his hind end comes to me, I'm going to ask him to move his hind end out. Yeah. Through that corner. Always being aware of where those feet are. And am I close enough to get kicked, or am I far enough away? Yeah, right there. Let him have that. Change direction. That's what I like. He's starting to release and soften. There. So there's a bit of a change. So now I'm going to go back in and see, is he ready for me to go back to playing with it? And he's like, nope. So I'm going to ask him to move his feet around some more. Getting a little bit firmer because I want him to pay attention to me. Hey, thank you. And move the front. Nice. So even though, you know, we're working towards trimming, is I'm getting to play with a bunch of other things. Getting him to go out there and around me, sideways, disengage, move the front end through. So I keep playing with his mind because he's still kind of thinking, oh, I just want to leave this. I don't want you to be playing with my ears. Yeah, we're getting some nice canter here. And there he kind of was like, enough of this, so I bumped his face saying, don't kick towards me. And send him off the other way. So really looking for him to chill out and relax. Because by nature he's a real mellow guy, and so in a way it's kind of nice to see him actually come up a little bit. get out here and move around, because normally he's just like, oh, whatever. Hey, that's nice. It's a real nice softening. Started to let go a little bit. Yeah. So I'm going to find what is comfortable for him. Because again, this really isn't a fear thing right now. It's more just I've had enough of this, and so I'm going to find where it's a good thing for him. So he goes, oh, this isn't so bad. Yeah. So I'm just stroking, there we go. And then I'm just playing with the trimmers in my other hand here. Just turning it on and off while I'm touching his ear. Using my elbow in his neck because he wants to push on me with his shoulder. Keeping his head tipped to me with the halter and lead. I'm like, don't lean on me, don't get tight. There you go, buddy. So I'm waiting on him to get soft. He's pushing into my elbow. There. He's still kind of leaning in. He's not wanting to bend. And so I'm like, get soft, get soft. Get soft in your neck. Hey. Good. See again, so it's that on and off where he's, good boy. And I'll just kind of play with, so underneath his chin here now, I'm just going to trim some of that. He's okay with me down around his, underneath his chin. So just kind of trimming those whiskers off. Getting comfortable with that. And around his nose here. So personally, I don't like to trim my horse's whiskers around the muzzle. Particularly not real short, but I know some people do, and some, it's needed for some shows, so you need to be able to if you need to. And so around the underside of his jaw and his nose, he's doing pretty okay with that. So I'll do a little under the jaw on this side, so just waiting on him, saying bend to me, and come underneath. just kind of clip off the long whiskers there. And he's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So he's coming along, but you know, the ears, it still may be a week or more of just playing around with that until he just gets to where he's as calm with it as you could see around the underside of his jaw and his nose and stuff. So it's just a continuation of playing with it, getting in and out of there. And then, like I was saying earlier too, is they can change from a fear response into a more of a disrespect or I don't want to. So when they kind of go there, then you're going to get just a little bit firmer with them, or move their feet, do things to say no. You know, just because you don't want to doesn't mean you know, we're not going to be able to go in there. And you still may need to take quite a bit of time with it. But just start identifying, okay, is that a fear issue or is it more of a disrespect? And that's what I'm seeing with him, is he's just more starting to get to where he's like, no, I don't really like it. And, you know, rightfully so. You know, he's feeling all that around his ears and he's just like, okay, I've had enough of that. And so that might be the other thing is you can only do so much in one setting. But you have to do it long enough to get a change. So if you come out there and they're bothered with it right away and you don't keep going until you get some sort of change, then you're not really making any headway. So just keep playing with it till you can get a change. Like here, I just keep going back in and I'm keep saying, okay, bend your neck to me. Don't pull your head away. There. He finds that good thing. And I'm able to turn the clipper on and off, and he's not pulling away as much. Yeah. So again, he's kind of just leaning into me with his neck and shoulder there, and there he got a little rude. So I'm like, no, you can't just be rude. And then there was kind of a release, so I'm letting him have that. Yeah. So I'm getting a little bit firmer there because he's just saying, don't you go there, don't you touch me up there. And I'm wanting him to keep his neck soft, so I'm just asking him to move that shoulder. There you go, stay soft in your neck. And as soon as he does, I'm like, thank you. Yeah. That's it. And so nice change there. And so I'm going to leave him with that. So, you know, get a little bit firmer, but then I don't hold that. I don't stay there and like, oh gosh darn it, you're gonna just take this. So it's not about that either. It's about how can you help the horse you have. What do they need in the moment of whatever you're working on? And so for him, it's just getting him comfortable, getting him to stay soft, because every time I go to reach up to his ear now, he's like, oh, I'm just going to pull away. I don't like that. So now I'm going to try to change that into keeping his neck soft, saying, oh, it's okay. This is actually a good thing, not an uncomfortable or annoying thing. There. And so I'll come out and I'll just play with that for another few days. Maybe not even with the clipper, until he's real comfortable with that, and then I can come back with the clipper and continue on. So hopefully that helps you out and kind of gives you a little bit more on how to help the horse getting comfortable with clipping the ears, clipping the muzzle, and all that good stuff. So we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.